Brother, finally we get to do a post-game show with a win. How good.
I know. But champs, we weren't together.
Maybe that's the thing, brother. That's the elephant in the room, brother, some would say.
Some would say that is correct.
Yeah,
that is correct. But it was a good game. Could not falter, really.
Brother, one of those games where, like you said, you just who do you say didn't have a good game? Everyone just played so well.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Frampton, maybe? I don't know.
You did okay. You did okay, brother.
Yeah,
don't start like this. Don't start. Nah. Don't do like this, brother.
Hey, man.
Okay.
4 touches. Elite.
Yeah. Good goal. Good goal. Off ground ball get. Fucking snap it. How you going? True?
Yeah. True. Bit of RNG. Just right place.
Yeah.
Right time, right? But,
Champ, I'm going to quickly take a screenshot of the stream and put a link on Instagram for it, and then I'll tag you. And then if you don't mind, can you actually also post on your story?
Done. I need a scarf, man. You need a pin Chris's comments.
No, it's just a thumbnail. It's just a thumbnail, brother. It's just a thumbnail. Hey, we're in the chat. Here we go. Big win, Woody. Yorgos, what a win. Go Pies. Angelique gives us the black and white hearts.
Justin Bieber? That's what I'm saying, brother.
That's what he's saying. And that's what you were saying, huh?
Yeah, champ. Huh? Get the Oakley Cannon scarf, man.
Up and about, chat. Up and about. Let's go, Benny Parsons. Let's fucking go. The Pies are up. The Pies are up. The Pies are up.
Mate, it's a bit of a different vibe, isn't it?
I'm ready to go out. I'm ready to go out. Woody, where's Wooden Spoon Data? Woody, where are we going tonight? I know you're a St Kilda fan, but where are we going? You want to go to the Wolf and I?
Fuck. I'll mask up, boys. I'll mask up. I'll put the COVID mask on and we're ready to go, huh?
We're ready to go. Ready to go.
The win Kareem fixes any illness, doesn't it, champs?
Exactly. And the vibes in this chat are up. Krugs was massive. Cream says Caleb's illness is gone now. Funny how that works, eh?
Yeah, amazing.
Funny how that works. Yeah, I'm keen. Now, don't you have some mortgage broking to do tomorrow, Woody? Back to work?
Yeah.
Jimbo, everything on the wish list got ticked, brother. Everything we spoke about before the game came to fruition. I said 33 points, but we won by 38. Is that close enough, chat? Can I get a thumbs up, chat? Was that close enough?
Thumbs up.
Let's go.
Yeah, what an elite performance, huh?
Russell says, when you kick straight, James is mum, by the way. Oh. Mum's running a fucking burner account, champs.
Oh.
True.
Oh, that is funny.
That is jokes. Harrison continues to grow. 3 goals, another 3 goals. One of the best performing ruckman, wingmen in the league right now after that, you have to say.
Yeah. It was just one of those games, champs, where you're looking and everyone was playing well, wasn't it? Sidey as well got up there. Mate, I was getting G'd up in my bedroom. I thought the sheets might have got pregnant when I saw that, champ. You know, I was getting up and about.
I changed my underwear, brother, as well.
Yeah, it goes back
for all the right reasons. For all the right reasons.
That's all right. That's all right. We won't talk about that. We'll just talk about the hanger.
Here we go, champs. The man, he's in the chat.
Manny, what about France with the forward line? You did say the TV was going to get smashed, but I guess a strong Collingwood performance kind of negates that, doesn't it? So, yeah, not too bad.
How good. How good. How good. Yeah, Let's go, Manny. Big Danny Cassett in the chat. Cruise.
He was huge today, wasn't he, champs?
Unbelievable. He's so fast.
Yeah. I was legit took the words out of my mouth. I didn't realize how quick he was. He was darting around, crashing packs, just being a nuisance, man. It was really good. Really good.
Hey, some of Maynard's hit on the ball. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that gets me going.
Get me excited, brother.
Yeah.
On a fucking Monday evening.
What is Danny on about? We didn't believe him.
We all believed, champs.
We all believed. Yeah, you don't. I know. We were saying Kruger should have come in.
Don't put words in our mouth, Danny Cassett.
Yeah.
Dan Cass. We believed.
Maybe it was BT. Did anyone want to knock out BT today?
Oh my God. How bad, guy? Yeah, how bad was BT?
I was going to jump in the car. I was talking to your brother, Chris, in the chat, man. I was going to jump in the car, man, drive to MCG and just bloody punch him in the throat.
Mate. And hey, Bobby Hill's fend off on Cozzy Pickett in that first quarter, I thought he was all but gone, and he just shrugs him off like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
this is as good as a Monday evening feels, I've got to say.
Yeah. Best thing is Tuesday tomorrow. We're pretty much halfway through the week, right?
The pie performers on Wednesday. Yes, champs. The ratings.
Yeah, huge.
I'm putting a link.
What's going on with this story, champ?
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
We are live. We are live.
Tag me so I can just share it nice and easy. We'll get going.
Caleb and Collingwood. Champs, have the floor. What do you want to talk about, man?
Oh, there was a lot of good points, wasn't there? I think the main thing was just how well we were able to get that ball movement out of our backline today, which has kind of been missing for most of the year, don't you reckon, champs? Like a lot of scoring from stoppages and centre bounces and stuff like that. But today, we were actually able to transition the ball like we would last year and really get going. I thought our defenders were really good and just willing to switch the ball a lot. I think there was instances where we probably went a little bit too quick. Darcy Moore sometimes probably just takes a great intercept mark and then rushes the handball, but we're daring to go quick and open the game up, and you kind of take the good with the bad sometimes. But that kind of set the tone for us to rebound and get the ball into the forward line and have a performance like we did today.
Yep, absolutely. Hit the game plan to a T. The D's are spooked Russ. 9 wins in the last 11 games for the Pies against the D's, and they look like a fucking shell of themselves at the moment. They look atrocious. Craig says, Kruger, hope this is a good start. Hope more to come. Exactly. And if things don't work out with McStay this year, we've got a good backup in Nathan Kruger, and I'm not mad. What's better than having one Brody Myercheck prototype in your forward line?
What's that, champs?
Another Brody Myercheck in the form of Nathan Kruger, who's a little bit taller and a little bit faster off the mark as well, it seems.
Yeah. Sorry, Tim. I'm just trying to do this.
It's hard.
I was waiting for I thought you were going to hit me with a punchline or a joke or something there, champs, but we moved.
Didn't rate that up. Hey, show us the Bobby Hill quickly. Give us the Bobby Hill show, man. Where is he?
The he's in the.
Where is he, man?
Right there, champ. There he is.
Bobby Hill show. And who else have you got?
We got Darcy Moore.
Woo! He was unreal today as well. Oh, he was good.
Yeah, let's go, boys. Let's go.
My best on, while Caleb is just sharing the link, my best on, I know Jack Chris was unreal, but I thought Jeremy Howe was my best on ground, if I'm being honest with you. I will look at some of his stats, but he passed the eye test. Spoils, intercept marks, beautiful disposal. He just looked like prime Jeremy Howe. And I said that before leading into the game, Howe would be a good suitor to play in a back line against this dilapidated Melbourne forward line at this point. I thought we needed him in the back line. And yes, it meant Frampton played forward. Did Frampton do anything amazing? No. Did he do enough? Maybe. We won. We're all happy. and that's what it is. Jeremy Howe, my best on. And quickly, champs, I'll tell you some of the stats from Mr. How did he nearly took fucking a bunch of intercept marks aren't up yet, but let's go to contested marks maybe. Jeremy Howe had 24 disposals, 1 contested mark, 2 score involvements. And like I said, he passed the eye test. And I reckon he had like at least 3 or 4 intercept marks for the game. Ben Parsons, what's going on, brother? Bailey Fritch, shit, bro. Bobby sat down. Cozzy was so sweet. How good. Royalty here, Danny C. There you go. Dad, I think somebody knows you here. Russell Blackwell. Yeah. Have you seen me old man play footy, Russell? If so, where have you seen him play? I know he's been at a lot of footy clubs in his time.
Which 82 clubs?
Yeah. Some say Danny Cassette changes his footy clubs more than his underwear.
Oh man.
Royalty here. That's huge. Norm Smith, Bobby shined through for a bit. Kruger, happy for him. It's a nightmare on it's a nightmare on Punt Road, not Elm Street, Punt Road. Howe, Quaynor, Maynard, absolute wonder of the world back there. The Great Wall of Collingwood for sure. Champs,
Quaynor had a great game today, champs. Don't you reckon? Yeah. It was able to get some run and carry, which we've probably been missing this year from him. So it's been elite.
Yep. Harvey and Freddie Kruger become focal points with the hyphen too. Bro, how good was hyphen today?
Yeah, it was good.
Very nice.
It was good. He was around, attacking the ball, leading, took that specky on the wing and opened it up. That was unreal. Bobby Hill then to bloody hit Kruger for his first goal as well and not dribble the ball and play the team game. That was elite.
He looks very lively. And yes, Mum, Harrison played very well. 3 goals. Very happy with that. Very effective and one of the best wingers in the league right now with a small sample size. Yeah. So what else? There's a bunch of comments, champs. I'll try to race through to a few to catch up. I'm going to put the link for the fan cams in a moment. We'll talk a little bit more. Then we'll get a couple of you guys on the fan cams. If you want to share some of your thoughts live on stream, I will put a link in the chat. Harrison is so good, says Angelique. Harrison, happy with Dean as well, brother. I'm happy with Dean. I thought he played well today.
Yeah. I thought he wasn't too bad, champs. Wasn't nice. Too bad. Yeah.
Krug, best on. Hosk and Howe were excellent. Absolutely. How good, Anthony Malice. Can't go wrong with Crisp or Howe. Was happy with Dean and Harrison. Mate, got to be between Billy and Howie at this point. I'm biased. Yeah, exactly. Sidey looked slow, but was okay. He looked a bit slow to start the game, but I think he found his way. Legs.
That was actually one of the points straight away. I think in the first quarter, he just looked really slow off it. I jotted it down, but I did delete it off the notes a little bit later on because he kind of worked his way into the game a little bit more, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. George, I know he has not had much game time, but I can't see anything in Bytel so far. Hard to get a gauge on it in this game, so we'll probably watermark that. Oh, not watermark. We'll rain check that one for another day. Some for Crew I picked him forward and we kicked straight. Unbelievable. Harrison was awesome. Archie says Cozzy Pickett is a flog. Russell knows my old man from Dufton back in 2005. I remember with Russell. Do you remember Juzzy Hill and Spanner? They were some of the blokes in that team that I used to barrack for when I was on the sidelines. Frampton got a goal. Very good today. Cozzy flog for sure, says Chris.
Yeah.
Cameron, Braz. Yep, all best on. Nightmare at Big Freeze. Love the Hosky, the Ripper. Buddy says, ha, ha, ha. Jacko's back. He's back. Here we go. Thoughts on Nick
another YouTube account.
I know. So many burners, Jacko. G'day, mate. Yeah, I'm back. Nick Dacos being subbed out. Precautionary, Jacko. Precautionary. Yeah. Finlay McRae, we've got so much to talk about, and we'll be able to segment that a lot into the pie performers this Wednesday. But we'll try and nut out a few tonight.
Yeah, exactly right.
Nick looked all right for mine. A corky at worst. Yep, precautionary. Nick spoke to Ling after match, said fine. Play next week. Up the pies from Japan. How much longer are you in Japan for? I mean, the weather's nice there
for a while.
It's been there for 52 years, man.
Yeah, 72, man.
Old Dufton boy Philip Harvey was my neighbour. Yeah, I remember Phil Harvey. He coached me at Oakley Districts as well, Russell. Phil Harvey. Yeah, I remember him. Great to see Kruger finish the game. Charlie Dean had a really encouraging game. Prevented like 3 goals that seemed inevitable. Encouraging is a fitting word, isn't it, champs?
Yeah, exactly right. Showed some good promise today. So obviously, previous games probably was just missing the mark a little bit out of position. But if he's able to do this more consistently, then it does show he is AFL caliber, and that's what you need sometimes, Shane. You just need a good game. Gets a good opposition, which were outclassed today in Melbourne, could be the signs for him to start, getting that ball in motion and stringing a couple of good games together right before we get into the busy end of the season, right, champs?
Yep, absolutely. Aldin, don't get too excited. Keep it in your pants, brother. I did say nut out. Don't get too excited. 2 months in Japan, he says champs. That's fun.
That's elite.
So are you missing all of July then? Because June and July are arguably the coldest weather in Melbourne. So that's a really strategic move to Japan for the meanwhile. Geez, champs, is that an unpopular opinion or what?
Yeah, it's a bit of a hot take. I don't see it happening. They'll just both come. Like Checkers will just come in.
They'll work together
and do a job exactly.
They'll
you could probably actually see Checkers probably lift because of the size of Kruger. Would probably take the first defender. The first opposition defender. So we could actually free up my check to be able to play on the second best defender. So could actually bow well for us, right? Having a good sized, very surprisingly quick key forward for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Millsy says Kruger's got that dog in him. He does. And that's the difference. We've mentioned this. This is the difference, respectfully, between Ash Johnson and Nathan Kruger. Kruger just knows how to find a way to stay involved in the game, whether it be by his aerial prowess or just being a nuisance on deck as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Champs, can you tell Angelique what happened to Nick?
It was kind of like a shin. I don't know if it was his ankle in the end, but he kind of just got clashed in a collision after he kicked the ball, and he was just out in the. They took him off just as a precaution, just because the game was kind of iced at that point. So he should be fine for next week, champs.
Yep. Rick and Karen say Isaac is a bit off though. Love the guy, but I feel he's a few seconds off the pace. A few mistakes this year for him has been off. Champs, I know he's your man, so I'll let you have that one.
Yeah, I thought today was definitely a good step in the right direction for Quaynor. Provided a lot of run and carry. Wasn't too bad to get the ball forward. I thought it was actually quite a good game from him.
Yeah, 17 disposals, brother. Not too bad.
Yeah, exactly. And the line breaking kind of attacking as well. I think there was an instance where he did get outmarked, but he was playing on someone that was a lot taller than him. So that comes with being like 5'11" sometimes. But
5'10" and a half, man. Don't give him that half inch, man. 5'10" and a half at best.
Definitely, I reckon it's definitely a good step in the right direction for him to find some form. Yeah. I'd much rather a guy come in and start hitting their straps towards this side of the season than peaking at the start of the year.
Yep. Guys, the link, by the way, is in the chat. I'll post it again. If you want to jump into the fan cams, there is the link. And guys, give us a like for the stream with the Collingwood win. We're up and about. We've got Mick waiting in the trenches. So we'll get him on Mick will get you on in a few minutes. Just got to catch up to some of these comments before we lose track. Everything is looking up. Mitchell could really dramatically benefit from the plantar fascia surgery. Could help rejuvenate him on return. Yes.
Yeah.
Millsy Kruger chases the ball like a predator. Exactly. Are you referring to the predator that Arnold Schwarzenegger fights and Danny Glover? If you're referring to those predators, I love it. 26 degrees in Japan, Theon. Must be nice. Any tips? Any tips for Sinex, Theon?
Oh.
That's a good call, isn't it, brother? This one here.
Yeah, Rohan. Yeah, Maynard absolutely owns him. It was actually good to see, champs, and we talked about it before the game in the pre-game show. If you guys weren't here, but if they were to boo him, it would be good to see the Collingwood faithful and crowd to get around Maynard. And my God, did they not? They are absolutely. First couple of boos the first 2 times, and then we just absolutely made an uproar, started cheering him every time we got the ball. So that was great to see, wasn't it, champs?
Yep, exactly. Here we go. Buddy says, Maynard shoulder into fridge. I almost did a backflip. Fuck, that got me excited, didn't it, eh?
Yeah, that got me beat up, huh?
Bloody hell. He's just so good. Sinex, another hot take. He's a dog, but he kicked 3 goals, but he didn't look great otherwise. I have to disagree with you there, Sinex. I thought Kruger was great in every facet of the game and stayed involved for the majority of the game.
Yeah. I thought he was good. He tacked the footy well, presented well, crashed if he needed to. How old is he, champ? He's like 23, right?
25, so still young.
Yeah. Are you sure he's that old?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up, Jamie. I don't believe
you. Pull it up, Jamie. While you're on that, hey guys, Chris, how you going, mate? Great win by Collingwood. How good was Kruger? He has to stay in the Collingwood team. Exactly. Yeah. And guys, the biggest win out of that game is the fact not only Kruger played well, he's injury free. He got through a full game of AFL. Unbelievable. But brother, also on the topic of Kruger, how bad was BT's call thinking it was his first goal? Like he was lining up for his first goal in his AFL career.
Yeah, he's a bit of an enough something. BT was drunk today. I don't know, man. He's expired. Like he was good back in the day, but I think it is a right off into the sunset. Sometimes he does my lid in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kruger's 24, champ, so we're both wrong. I said 23, you said 25. He probably has a hairline of a 32-year-old, doesn't he? He looks a lot older than he fucking is.
Yeah. Last comment before we get Big Mick, the music dude, onto the stream. Sees he's raring to go. Where was it that I wanted to quickly? Rob, well done on the 1.3k subscribers. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Yes, the subs are going up on a daily basis. We're very grateful for that. It's we're doing something right, so that's a good sign. Exactly. One more champs, and then we will get Mick on. I think the 10-day break and extra time they had for more training helps Collingwood perform so well today. It's harder to perform on 6-day breaks. Absolutely. But anyways, we got 61 viewers. Mick, you ready for the big crowd?
Yep.
Here we go. Let me add you to the stage. Give me 1 second.
How are we going to do this, champ? Two of us, me and you, will be on one side.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit this guy, so just bear with me, champs. You want to keep them busy while I just edit the screen?
Yeah, that's all right. Digsby's saying Frampton is the best and the worst. 4 touches. I reckon it's BOG. I'm giving him 7.5 chance on the rating.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah. Look, when I seen him in the forward line today, I was like, "What is going on?" But he was there to do a job and got a good goal. I guess it was a good goal. It was one of those performances where if you win, you can't really complain too much, can you?
Yeah, exactly. When you win, he played his role, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick, how you going, mate? What are we saying?
How are you, boys? Can you hear me?
Very well.
Hear you, mate.
That's good. Very happy. Good 4-quarter performance. I was waiting for us to put the cue in the rack in the last, and that didn't happen, thankfully. It was just great to see Krugs step up. Harvey Harrison, he's a player, man. He's going to be, once he gets to that 50 game mark, I reckon, you can just see it. He does the right things at the right time, and he kicks goals. It's just it's set up our season for the rest of the year now. It's get some players back. I wasn't too confident going into the game. I thought I was pretty pessimistic, to be honest. But it was just a great 4-quarter effort.
It was, wasn't it? It was good to see.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised how quick Kruger was able to move around, and he presented well, took good marks, and slotted some real good goals. So couldn't really complain.
I'll tell you another thing. Frampton, he was copying a lot on. I was following the game on. I had the Twitter feed going, and a lot of people were bagging Frampton. But I'll tell you what, he didn't do much. He kicked the goal, but he helped our structure a lot. I reckon. I reckon it was pretty similar to the grand final. His performance. Just give us a second, guys. I'm in KFC drive-through at the moment, so I'm just going to.
What are you getting? What's the order? What are you getting, Mick?
Yes, thanks. Just a large popcorn chicken meal with a Mountain Dew.
With a Mountain Dew.
We love the popcorn chicken. We love the popcorn.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
This is what I live for. Is that a ritual for you, Mick, if Collingwood win?
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Is that a ritual for you, the large popcorn chicken, if Collingwood will get the win?
Yeah. Sorry, man. I just didn't hear what you just said. There you go.
That's okay. I got a comment for you.
There you go. I got it.
There you go. Unreal. Mick, we've got something here. I've got a question for you.
Yep.
We got Digsby in the comment section saying he reckons Sidebottom's got to retire. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with Digsby there because as good as he was today, he seems to have like a good game once every 4 weeks kind of thing. It's probably not enough when we lose or draw games. It seems to be Sidey that's the guy that is just missing there. Yeah, mate, fantastic career. But I reckon we've got the guys to replace him in the long run. And with our older guys, we want to stagger the retirements. So, it's probably good that if he does retire, if he does go one more year, I'm not going to be totally against it. But, we've got to kind of transition the list. Yeah, we're pretty old, aren't we?
Yeah,
exactly. That's what we're barking kind of the same tune here. We need to stagger these retirements. And unfortunately, if there was one person to go and I had to pick out of everyone, how Pendle's Sidey, I'd probably want Sidey to go out of those three. And like to the point in the first quarter, there are instances where he does look a little bit slow, and it's very evident when he's playing on the wing. Yeah. And I reckon, Howie can probably go one more year. Pendle's got another 2. Who are the other oldies? Cox, he'll go one more year, but because he's contracted. But if we pick up, I hope we pick up that Ned Long. You really sold me on that one, Anthony. Ned Long, he looks the goods. But I don't know. We've picked up this Smith guy. Maybe with 2, and we've got Josh Erie, however you pronounce his name. We've got a lot of talls on the list now.
Yeah.
Along with Steen and So I don't know if they'll go for Long. I'd love to get him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mick, tell me, what did you think?
Moyle, sorry. I was talking about Moyle, not Long. Sorry. Yeah.
He looked good against Gold Coast, St Kilda. Was it yesterday evening or Saturday night? He looked really good against Rowan Marshall, who's an All-Australian likely player behind someone like Max Gawn. Did you see Sidebottom's Specky, Mick?
Yeah, how good was that?
Yeah.
Oh, man. What a highlights reel our players provide for us. It's unbelievable. We get to see Speckies by Howie, by Sidebottom. What did you think of Nicky D's performance? Was very quiet, but mate, when he needed to do the things he had to do, he just stepped up there. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll take this one, Champs, because seeing as you're giving me the role of rating him in the pie performance, I thought, well, he was being followed around by Alex Neil-Bullen, who's done a great job on other great midfielders this year so far. But like you said, when he needed to do things, when in times of need, he kicked that goal from outside 50, and just before his injury, he kicked that left foot switch.
Oh, what a kick!
Yeah, on his left foot. And laced up. Was it? Who he laced up? Do we remember who it was? Was it Lockie Schultz?
Harrison got it, and he kicked the goal.
He kicked 3 goals, Mick. Hey, how about
that? Yeah. He's very quickly becoming one of my favourites, Harrison. He's only 20 years old. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. He missed most of last year through injury, I'm pretty sure, and obviously spent some time in the VFL. And his form warranted at VFL level to have a shot in the AFL this year, and he's done so very well. And it's healthy competition. When once upon a time, Steel Sidebottom was a shoe-in on the wing every week in, week out, but now we're with age comes obviously consideration of whether you keep him there, but then you got the meteoric rise of someone like Harvey Harrison, who's starting to ask questions for someone like Sidey, so much so that Sidey was forced onto a halfback flank for a few weeks as well.
Yeah. And do you think it was Charlie Dean's best performance for the club?
Jim?
Yeah, I think so. I think so today. Yeah.
You're right. Did his job.
Well.
Yeah. Wasn't put on a 7-foot monster for once. So yeah.
That matchup last week again on Sam Darcy, that was just it was a disaster.
Yeah, it was unfair on him.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Even the first 2-3 games, where he lost out, that was a bit unfair on him too. I'll tell you what, in hindsight, we should have played Frampton those first 2-3 games. Oh.
Yeah, it was a bit surprised, but you got to take your opportunities, and he's definitely, solidified his spot in the squad. I still rate him a lot better in the back line, even though he was in the forward line today. But I guess he did play a role today in some extent, and did all right. Kicked a goal in the end, so can't really complain too much.
There it is, the celebratory cigarette. There it is, Mick, and some popcorn chicken to go with it. How good? Not
good,
bad for
mate,
Monday evening, hey?
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's a pleasant evening, I must say. Yeah.
Victory smoke. We love to see it.
And Mick Jimbo says DC was awesome. Gawn wasn't a factor today, or at least for the most part of the game. What are your thoughts on that?
They broke even. Look, Gawn is always a factor, but DC did a wonderful job. He's had a fantastic season, DC, and he's really held the fort there. Even though Gawn was still good, DC was good as well. It's not like he got, they broke even, yeah. Like Gawn took a lot of intercept marks and stuff, but so did DC. So there you go.
Yeah, I think the stats suggest Max Gawn, 25 disposals, 14 contested possessions, 45 hit outs, 6 clearances, whereas Darcy Cameron, 9 disposals, but he had that nice goal on the boundary line.
I was gonna say, how's the throw the chair out of the way? It doesn't move it slightly, just fucking pisses it out of the way, slots it from the boundary. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Off.
What a kick. It's good to see us kicking straight for once.
Yeah. What did we kick? We kicked 14-5 to 6-15. And what were we all talking about leading into this game? We just got to kick straight when we need to. And Melbourne, on the other hand, couldn't do what Collingwood, or they did exactly what Collingwood did last week and were wasteful with the chances they did have in front of goal. What else have I got for you? So Abdullah thinks Gawn was best player for Melbourne today. Yep, he's probably one of the only players who could walk out with his head high, as well as Jacob Van Rooyen. He was good as well. Marty says, great win from the great team. But yeah, a bit of slack. Says.
Yeah, I don't want to diminish our performance in any way, but geez, Melbourne, mate, they're struggling, aren't they? I think there's a lot of internal stuff going on with them. I don't know what it is. Their shitness helped us out today. It's been a big downfall for them, hasn't it?
Yeah, very interesting to see what happens with Melbourne for the rest of the season. They look shot. Christian Pataka ended up going to the hospital, taken by the ambulance post-game. So that's alarming for Melbourne. And then, I guess that's Julian says bad kicking is really bad football. And at the end of the day, if you don't convert your shots, Melbourne had some good looks at goal, I thought, and they just couldn't do the job.
Would like to see what the inside 50s were, Champ, because I feel like they did get a lot of inside 50s, but it wasn't good looks, was it?
47 inside 50s to Collingwood's 50. I thought they had some reasonable set shots on goal, and they hit the post like at least 3 times. So, it's just, I guess it's a matter of taking your chances. And I think in that second half, we belted them in the middle, and we lost the contested possession count. But outside of that, it was a comprehensive win. We got our marks inside 50 and 69 tackles to 49 as well, 15 of them being inside 50. So a really, as we've said before, even looking at the stat sheet, it was a comprehensive all-round performance from everyone on that Collingwood side. Yeah. But anyhow, Nick, we might let you go. We've got Ben Parsons from NZ waiting, and we'll pass it on to him. But as always, mate, we love having you on, and hopefully we see you Sunday evening post North Melbourne with a win, right? Surely.
Yep, no worries. Catch you later.
Take it easy, man.
Enjoy the KFC.
Champ, give this man an introduction. Here he is.
He's a man that needs no introduction, Benny Parsons, but regular on the show, and glad to have you on from lovely neighbours in New Zealand, unless we're playing you in the rugby. Then you can go get fucked. But...
What's going on, Benny?
3 World Cups, mate. That's right. Just so relieved, man. So relieved, honestly. Just really good performance. Just so happy. Like, I was thinking, like, before the game, I was just thinking, like, we got this, right? We got this. I know, no bad thoughts. Come on, we got this. And then, boom, like 2 goals quick. And it's like, okay, we're on today. So happy with that. For sure.
Favorite moment from the game, Benny?
Oh, it's like picking which my favorite Christmas present. Honestly,
That's
probably either Maynard's bump on or sit down or Bailey Fritsch, or even Charlie Dean's pinky to save that goal.
True.
That was unbelievable.
Actually,
that
that's a good.
underrated. Like,
Yeah, that was a good
because he
point, wasn't it?
because he kicked it, and then like they reviewed it, and it was like, wait, what's going on? And it was basically like his pinky like touched the ball, and it was like, nah, let's go back. So it was like far out. That is like centimeter perfect, honestly. So and like he had a, like you say, encouraging game. Finn McRae, I think out of this world, but a lot more better, a lot more competitive. So I thought that was really good to see from him. And Kruger, man, 3 goals. Awesome to see him come back. We can't expect. I don't think we should expect too much, just because it's his first game back in so long in terms of AFL level. But hopefully he plays well next week and then continues that form for the rest of the season. So
Yeah, definitely right. It's definitely a good step in the right direction. Being able to have a performance like that, and comes into North Melbourne as well. Hopefully, gets heaps of opportunity and delivery. And just back on the score review with the Charlie Dean, it's good to see them actually go back and review it after he's been called a goal, and then it gets called back for a point, because I think it was Champ. Correct me, what was it? Isaac Quaynell's touch 2 games ago, which didn't get called back against.
Fremantle. Look, he says he didn't touch it. Post game, he said he didn't touch it, but I feel like when I saw the replay, I saw the pinky.
There was like a deviation, was it not?
There was a deviation, I felt, but that's in the past, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But it's just a good thing that they're going back and reviewing that, isn't that right?
Yeah, it's good to see the goal umpires back their calls for once. When this year they've just lost all sense of confidence. So Chris is not happy with Flappy Eagles' call, saying McCreary hasn't been doing much either. Yeah, we know what he does on the defensive front, right? But offensively, look, he was back into the forward line. Did he kick a goal? No, he had 8 touches again. But he's just one of those role players at the moment. I don't think he featured in the centre bounce at all today. So you can't ask too much more of him right now.
Was he? I swear he was in the centre bounce.
I don't think so. Benny, do you recall Big Bo McCreary rolling through the middle at all? Does anyone?
I don't think so. I just remember the toe poke for Frampton's goal. That was the most important thing.
Yeah.
You've been a bit sick, brother. It's all good. It's the flu. Flu, man.
Maybe it was a stop for the win.
Finn McRae, but just I want to touch on that. While he didn't go crazy today, I felt like his first half was really important. Kicked that goal, maybe been a goal assist in there for Mr. Finlay McRae. Yeah, had 1 goal assist.
That dribble pass forward of the contest out of the middle as well.
Thank you. Yeah, and I called Caleb at halftime. I said, mate, what I've started to notice this year is out of the centre bounce, where starting or a lot of teams, smart players are handballing it on the ground, forward of centre from the centre bounce to get out the front of that centre bounce stoppage, and that is. It's really hard to get out the front, and if you were to try handball it over, usually somebody intercepts that, but getting it underneath and the player in front ahead of these players is ready for that. That's clearly an intentional, I guess, play out the middle that teams have been working on. And Finlay McRae he handballed it to, was it Crisp or someone?
Yeah, I think it was Crisp. I think
someone, and we ended up getting a scoring shot from it from memory. So that's some nice little strategy or tactic out of the centre bounce, which I took note of, which was interesting.
I think it's a little bit of an easier handball if you're skilled enough to dribble, hand pass it through, because you traditionally have a sweeper there. And if you try to loop it over, the sweeper normally does a good job of parrying the ball or making a nuisance. And if you're able to dribble that ball past, normally catches them off guard and you get that run and carry. So I think that's probably why we're seeing it a little bit more. And then every Collingwood clip I see, we're always bloody dribbling the ball, handballs. It's just part of the way we train, and it's obviously translating over into game day.
Yeah. Who was your best on, Ben?
I think I've seen in the comments either you can't go wrong with Chris or Howe. I wanted to point out something that they picked it up in the umpire mic. I was cracking up laughing.
Was that Jeremy Howe, Ben? Was that Jeremy Howe?
Yeah, where it was like a 3-on-1 contest, and like he kicked it to Van Roy, and he's like looking back at Darcy Moore, was like 3-on-1, mate. If he sorted out, far out.
Yeah, so I think that was Darcy Moore and a couple other players went up for that contest outside the 50, and none of them collected it, and then they hit Van Roy on for an easy mark on the lead. And I've just got a note here. Jeremy Howe said, fucking sort it out. 3-on-1.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to drive the standards. Doesn't matter how much you're up by. Doesn't matter what quarter it is. You got to drive the standards, right? DTS.
Yeah. DTS.
Benny, what do you think about Lockie Schultz? And who's the other Lockie? Am I losing my mind? Both Lockies were great.
Sullivan.
Yes, of course. What do you think? Double L.
Schultz. Good pressure. Love his pressure. They were saying it in the commentary as well. Just it was like they were up by so much, but he's still trying to tackle, still trying to create that pressure. And I think he's coming into his own now, which I'm really glad about.
Yeah.
So he got that goal early on. Just he is playing the role that we needed to play, and he'll be better for it for sure.
Absolutely. Spot on.
They had the stats. I was watching a bit of the Fox Footy before the stream, and they had the stats come up for like tackles and all that. It was 69-48 Collingwood's way. It's like, man,
tackles,
crazy. Like
it's the Collingwood way, my friend. It's the Collingwood way.
Anything near 70 tackles is awesome, there, isn't it?
Yes. We've got another one here from Cream. What do we think of Champs? What do we think of Bobby's performance? Still applying fantastic pressure. Would love to see him on the board for a couple of goals.
Yeah, look, I thought he was still relatively pretty good. He's obviously with Hoskin Elliott takes that big screamer on the wing, and then kicks it out to Bobby Hill, and Bobby Hill just has I think in the past, he probably would have just dribbled the ball through or constant, but he's done the team thing. And I feel like he's doing that a little bit more. And he's hit up Kruger for his first goal using that fat side kick. And I think what kind of gets underrated with Bobby Hill is his field kicking champs. I think is quite an elite field kick. Like he's able to turn and go and then hit someone in the forward line. Really, really big kick as well. So would have liked to see him get on the scoreboard, but we still won. So yeah, it wasn't the it's still a good performance, but it could definitely be better, Champs. Don't you reckon?
Yeah. Look, we win. Like you said, that's the main thing. Bobby, he gets high off the ground. He tries to have an impact. I thought he was good without kicking goals, so that's all good. Yeah. Matt says
and his pressure acts as well, Champs. Sorry, just to cut you off, but his pressure acts as well on the forward line. He's so quick, and his willingness to just chase down guys and be a nuisance to put pressure on the ball carrier. Like those are really good things you want out of your small forward if they're not snagging goals. Good thing for youngsters as well that, if you want to stand out, you got to work the other way as well if you're a small forward.
Yeah, that's it. Buddy, I'm trying to get my old man onto the stream, but he's past it. He's a boomer. He doesn't know how to use his phone, so that's okay.
Get Chris to get him on, man.
He must not be home. He must not be home. But Matt says Darcy Moore doesn't seem to be clunking those intercepts like he has in the past. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, look, we know how good he is at spoiling the ball as well. Sometimes he dropped maybe a couple of somewhat sitters relative to the standard that he usually upholds. What's his space? Maybe. What's his space? We'll see. Ben, did you notice anything to do with Darcy Moore and dropping marks today or over the last few weeks?
I would agree with you. I think more spoils. But, I mean, he had the most important one, I would say. The unfortunate Pachaka one. That was a spoil. So, I mean, that was...
Yeah, he took him out, didn't he? Took him out for the game.
Yeah.
Which is what we love. I'm just trying to see if the intercept marks are updated. Darcy Moore had 3 intercept marks. Jeremy Howe, 3. Still side bottom had 2 intercept marks as well. Nathan Kruger, 2 intercept marks, 11 disposals, and 3 goals. So some of the top performers from the game there. So a lot to like, really. Just let me catch up on. Let me see if I can get a comment for you, brother. Thoughts, champs?
This is probably our best win for the year considering our injuries. I'd say yes, considering our performance that we had last week and what this game means for us. It was pretty much an 8-point game. For us to still be nice and competitive, if we still want to try sneak into the top 4, these are the type of performance we need to have. So definitely good team performance. I thought from start to finish, we were looking the part. And it's good to see today we didn't drop off into the fourth quarter, which is probably the biggest green tick of the day, is we're relentless, which is what you want.
Yeah, we got a 4-quarter performance. Literally, we played so well every quarter, and we didn't take the foot off the pedal. We kept the foot at the neck and got a comfortable win, 38 points. I said 33 before the game. Close enough. That was all manifestation, and that worked out. Luke says Schultz looks more composed. He had that one fucked turnover, but generally panicking less when he gets it. Yeah, he's definitely trying to hit some passes that aren't easy, and hopefully that comes to fruition and looks a bit smoother moving forward. But he's looking better. It's just maybe cleaning up his disposal a little bit more, and then we'll get the best version of Lockie Schultz moving forward. What do you think about this one, Ben? Can you see that comment there?
Schultz reminds me of a smaller Mychik to see Bobby up the ground or run. Yeah, I agree with that. Bobby, was he on the wing? Up on the wing sort of thing? So sort of pushing up.
Yeah, we played as a high half-forward flanker, so they get quite high up the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, Benny Parsons, what were you saying?
I agree with that. He's like a smaller Mychik, someone that's going to compete, pressure on the ground. I'd agree with that, sure.
Beautiful. Love that. Benny, as always, it's a pleasure having you on. Hopefully we see you next week after a win against the Kangaroos at the dreadful Marvel Stadium. But until then, we'll see you next week, brother.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Too easy, Benny. Cheers for the support, mate.
All right, let me just fix this screen, champs.
Yeah.
Let me give you a comment. McRae is on AFL 360. I'll just quickly take this one. Morrison Shinkota did really well on who was it yesterday? Merritt yesterday, and I forget who they played the week before. Was it Port Adelaide? I forget. But yeah, he's been doing really well, Shinkota, since he's rolled into the midfielder as that tagger role, and I think a lot of teams are starting to do that now. Let me find you a comment, brother. We're doing fine. Carlton's forward mix is garbage outside of the Torsmans, Hollands. Both Charlie and here we go. How about that one?
Yeah, both Charlie Dean and Finn McRae was better today. Look, yeah, Charlie Dean was definitely a better performance today. Definitely, a good step in the right direction for him. And what we were saying earlier, or what I was saying earlier, is sometimes you just need to have a good game to get the ball rolling, and it's all momentum from there. So good game today. Holds his spot into next week, which we got North Melbourne. Get the confidence and some belief in him, and hopefully this is the start of a good onset of games for him. And McRae as well was better today as well, champs. Thought his attack on the footy, like we're saying, the dribble hand pass forward of the centre bounce is good. It means he's daring to take those risks because that is quite a risky handball, right? So it's good to see that, he's still confident in his abilities to do those type of possessions in the game.
Yeah. And such is AFL footy. Last week, we're saying that's probably the end of Finlay McRae. But in fairness to ourselves, if our team was healthy and we had availability, he wouldn't be playing this week. He was just fortunate that we don't have any AFL player availability, so he gets another chance. And he ticked the box today. Probably did a little bit more than ticking the box. He played well, kicked the goal, was important in the first half, and he lives to fight another day, and we love that.
Yeah, I think, champs, if Ned Long was available, he would have been the one to come in. But, you got to take games. Footy is about taking your opportunities. And, last week, had a quiet game. And this week he's made up and made amends for it and had a good game. And hopefully he can continue to do that even when the side's not playing well. Because, against was a West Coast, he had a really good game, around 16 disposals as well, Finlay. But it's about what he can do. If it's a tight contest game, can he still work his way into it? Obviously, big win today. Everyone's up and about, had a good game. But can he do it a rainy night in Stoic? I don't know, champs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. We've got Kev waiting in the stream to jump on. First time fan camera. So we'll just get one more question out of the way. Paul, what did I say about the tag? I recall you saying something pre-game about getting the tag going on. So that was a good shout. And there's one more I wanted to address. Digsby says Brazzy's going to his 200 next week. So that's an incredible milestone for the man. Perfect timing. That's great. And then last one before we get Kev on. Dimitri to debut next week, I reckon. I think you watched the game, but he got the VFL MVP by Josh Fraser. So if does anybody get dropped from the team? I don't know. But if so, Dimitri maybe is one of them who's next in line along with Tujath as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dimitri was really good yesterday. Was able to open the ground up, a lot of switch kicks, and was good. He was able to get the ball, looked quite quick. Would like to see how that translate into the AFL, but his willingness to switch the kick was quite good yesterday. So, and his foot skills looked good. His marking ability. So, I don't know if he comes in next week, Matt. But it's definitely good signs that we've got these guys knocking on the door, ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. Good competition. Kev, I can't see your camera. Can you turn your camera on? And then once we get the thumbs up from you, we'll get you on stage and we can have a bit of a yarn. But in the meanwhile, agree, hard to judge everyone on a blowout win. Everything is going to look better given the margin. It's a blowout win, but it's a fair game to judge when you're coming up against an opposition like Melbourne Demons on King's birthday. So big occasion at the G, record-breaking crowd against a very good team who have lowered their colours recently. Despite the blowout, I think the fact that it turned into a blowout just shows how well we played against a big team in a massive game.
Champs, I'm going to leave you for 10 seconds. I'm just going to blow my nose, all right?
Yeah, go on. The flu. Kev, I can't see you. I'm going to try add you now, but I can't see you here. Give me 1 second. Kev, it says you're buffering. Can you... Nah, we've lost Kev, guys. We'll remove him from the stage and wait for him to get that camera sorted, but we'll just go back to the 2-view screen for now. Here we go. Michael Fly said keeping Melbourne to 51 points was really good. Yes, we said in the pregame 12 to 14 goals would hopefully be a win for Collingwood, considering the Ds are only averaging 10 a game. But then we also mentioned that if we can just keep Melbourne to a lesser score in general, we won't have to kick as many. And we end up kicking 14 goals and we keep the Ds to 51 points. So, I honestly did feel like at the same time that the Ds missed some easy shots. They hit the post a couple of times. So, maybe had they kicked a couple more goals in those important moments, the game could have looked different. But that's just how sport goes. You kick some, you miss some, and yeah. TJ will debut first. Yeah, you would think TJ is next in line before Di Mattia, considering he was the unplayed emergency for today. Vital doesn't offer much. Chance, we're having issues with Kev, so we can't add him to the stage yet.
That's all right.
Freak shot. Proper dig deep when they're really proud of that. Great injuries coming back after bye. Keen to see it. Absolutely. What would you rather watch? Steph is already talking crazy.
No. I was like, Chance win.
Steph talking crazy already. First time average against important stat. First time average against is less than 80 points. Oh, okay. So that's the first time our average against for the season has dropped below 80, which is massive. So we're ticking the defensive box of not conceding as much, and 89 points is a healthy score to kick as well, champs.
Yeah. You take that any day of the week, champs, huh?
Yep. Abdullah says, Di Mattia in for Vital. What are your thoughts? I think just as we said before, maybe TJ, but we'll leave that for a little bit later in the week. Let things transpire and let's enjoy the win and go from there. Kev says, reception is terrible. I'll join when I can. If not, I'll join you guys next week. That's fine, mate. If it's not tonight, definitely next week. And I'll put the link in the chat, guys, if you want to show your face and share your thoughts. Be sure to leave a like on the stream as well for the win. We've only done these post-game shows. This is the second time, but now we're 1 for 1. So give us a like for that. Digsby, champ.
Loved the boom with Stephen May, yeah. It was unreal today. We just made him look out of place, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like, looked slow. We just, ended up killing him. Who did he absolutely clotheslined? Was it Noble? Did he clothesline Noble in the middle?
I remember.
Stephen May. Do you remember the one I'm talking about?
Not really, brother. I'm sure someone in the chat will remember.
He selected someone in the middle, man. Fucking, I thought it was JBL out there with the bloody clothesline from hell, man. But nah, we made him look silly today, which is good.
Oh yeah, Aldin says no. It was Noble. It was Noble. So there you go. Interesting. So May had 13 disposals and 6 intercept marks, but I still think he was taken out of his comfort zone for the most part of the game, and he was left vulnerable despite those 6 intercept marks, which was a game high. So he had good moments, but he definitely had some shaky moments. But when you're with that Jake Lever, your partner in crime, it's going to look like that. And we moved the ball pretty well for the most part of the game. So that would have made things difficult for the Ds to defend. As you know, if you can't keep the ball in your front half, which they did for a little bit, the ball moves. And when the ball moves quick, it's hard to defend.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like in that end of that first quarter, they were able to slow our run after those first 2 goals. And then they just kept getting those repeat entries. But we just held up the fort, was good. And we were just able to open up the ground. That's what the biggest tick today for me was our defenders still looking to switch and open up the ground and move quick out of the back line and score from our defensive half, which has been kind of missing from this year.
Yep, spot on. Aldin says, I almost got in the car when he saw Stephen May clothesline. No.
Can we get a buddy on the camera? Or what's going on?
He maybe doesn't want to disclose his identity. People come for his head. Why is everyone talking about dropping plays when we just won by 30? It's a fair point, and we'll try navigate around those comments, and we'll save that for like segments later in the week where we can talk about team selection. But right now, we sort of just want to rest on our laurels for the night and enjoy the win. A great win that was.
Abdullah goes, love the spear tackle from Maynard. Absolutely. Maynard today, I don't know. I reckon he was, I would almost say he was my MVP, coach's MVP today. Just all the 1%ers, the tackles, the bumps. Bloody, he was unreal for me. What did he get, champ? 23 disposals or something as well.
He would have been close to the best one in his own way as well, champs, to be fair.
Yeah, he was really good today. Really good.
Paul says, hey, guys, when do we get back mixed day? Hopefully by the end of the home and away season. So he'll resume match simulation training post-bye. But it's good to see players like Nathan Kruger stepping up. Mason Cox will be available around that time. So we've got a few options leading into the final series. So good to see on all fronts what we saw on the field today.
Yeah, it's a good thing, Paul, that Kruger did have the game he did today. Yes, it's a small sample size of, one game, but it's a really good step in the right direction, which means if he can keep this up, we don't have to rush back the next day from an ACL injury where, we don't rush it back and he comes back too soon and does it again. So it's good he can get these proper rehab in and, go from there, right?
Yeah. Just it makes it a little bit less desperate after the performance of Nathan Kruger today. Can we talk about Harrison being a gun? We can. He's been very good. His second time he's kicked 3 goals this season, champs.
Yeah. It was really good today, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Very, very good. Yeah.
I don't think he had a bunch of disposals, but when he did, he was just good with it. 13 disposals, 1 contested mark, 3 goals, 19 pressure acts. So a real all-round performance, 5 score involvements, obviously 3 goals there. So, yeah, love to see that. And Kev says, also great win. Love to see us play really well for 4 quarters. I think we'll keep Kruger in until our star players come in. I think there's a world that exists that Kruger will be in the side even with McStay and Myercheck available, I think. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
And Disby says Krug's got Tomlinson in his pocket as he was getting the keys walking out. No lever, no May. Marty says Noble mid-season draftee. Why not the Big Roo? I don't think the Big Roo will play this year just yet. Noble was a bit more ready-made, AFL ready body-wise, needed the run, and has played the most games out of any mid-season draftee thus far since the return of the mid-season draft a few years ago.
Yeah, and I think when he got drafted, Ilira Smith, he was mentioned that he's going to be a work in progress anyway. I did watch his game yesterday. Did think he was actually pretty good. He's very quick, very athletic. His first pressure act is good, but his follow-ups are elite, second, third, and his willingness to crash a pack. He does remind me of Mason Cox in a way, just because the way he's a nuisance on the ground, like his willingness to crash the pack and go, crash the pack and, just be a nuisance on the field. But what I was saying to you, champs, and what I was saying yesterday on Moving Magnets was just what he can do to develop his game was just to, develop that little bit of ruck craft. He always just smacks the ball forward. So that's probably just one thing he needs to work on. And then if he's not able to jump over his opponent's ruckman, once he gets engaged, it normally went the other way yesterday. So if they're able to stop his run, and an AFL ruckman caliber would probably pick up on that and they'll do some tape on him, that's probably something he'll need to add like a couple of strings to his bow before coming into the senior side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, still got some work to do, but he's more of a prospect, if anything, at the moment. Zach says, how the fuck are people saying Noble shit? He's not shit. Sometimes he can be a bit fumbly at times. He's susceptible to a clanger here and there, but for the most part, he's been one of our best players this year. So nothing but love for John Noble at the moment. And Ben, important question. Did Mason Cox get back to you? Not yet. I'm just going to assume he's a busy man. We're trusting that it really was him. There's a few things that point to that maybe it really was Mason Cox that was talking in the chat yesterday, on Saturday or Friday. So hopefully, yesterday, something like that. Anyway, yesterday. Yeah, so hopefully he reaches out over the next couple of days and maybe we can tee up that podcast that he was open to, but nothing just yet. So we're not going to get our hopes up at the moment. Aldin says, is 14 tackles for Bo McCreary stat padding? Absolutely not. You're right there, buddy.
Evil Monk says, Maynard was my 3 votes as well. If he won the medal, the crowd would have gone nuts. Yeah, that would have been crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Would have been crazy.
He was the people's champ today, wasn't he, champ?
Pardon?
He was the people's champ today.
He is the people's champ.
No, yeah, we know. Yeah, I think Aldin was referring to McCreary.
Yep.
Round 20, he's back. McStay comes in. That's the expected timeline. Correct. Got to trade AJ. Digsby, come on, mate. Let him breathe. Let him breathe. Noble gives us drive. He's been a big reason we've won plenty of games. Yeah. I remember that Brisbane game in particular where he just came in and dominated off the halfback flank, had a handful of, or more than a handful of score involvement. So he's had some really good games. Chris says, mate, Noble averages 20 disposals, loves his charge off halfback, important player. Spot on.
Yeah.
24 touches today, 374 meters gain, 87% efficiency. If your opinion is that he's bad, it's fine. You're also just wrong. There you go. Evil Monk goes bang, and that's fair enough. Noble makes, he does make it, and that's what I said. He makes the occasional disposal blunder, but he is a stud.
And just to touch on that, like, because he does provide a lot of run and carry and line breaking kicks, and which open up the game. When they do turn over, it looks shit. He sometimes he shanks it, or he goes for a kick and goes straight to the opposition. So that's probably why he gets a lot of flack. But then, if it pays off, he's opened up the ground and we're having a scoring shot, or it's going deep into our inside 50, right? So you take the good with the bad sometimes.
Yep. We would have smoked them. There you go. Stephen May's famous last words in that best and fairest talk leading into the game today. Famous last words. He's like the Homer Simpson in the movie where he's going down the sand pit and then he gets caught up.
What a movie chance, huh?
Yeah, and then Collingwood are the hecklers who have got their pitchforks and all that getting ready to rinse him. So, Manny. So for me, like as far as the genuine best on ground, for many reasons, it was Jeremy Howe, I thought. But we know that rewards and medals are always favoured towards midfielders, and that's always how it's been. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jeremy Howe gets a few Brownlow votes from this game. I would be surprised if he doesn't get at least one. Spoils, intercept marks, and great distribution. I think he had like 25 odd disposals. So easily Jeremy Howe's best game this season.
Paul says Nick Dacos got tagged back. How do we address this? Yeah, he did. He did get tagged, but it was kind of, we were still able to fire without him, which was a good. It's good to see that we don't always have to rely on him. I think what they'll do throughout the week is address how he was tagged. Maybe other teams will be looking at that as well. With who was on him again, champs?
Alex Neil-Bullen.
Yeah, so they'll see how he did it, and that's probably going to be the blueprint now. What we're going to have to do is make him overcome that. 15 disposals for the game, so it was a little bit quiet, but yeah, it's just going to see how we'll progress, right? Like, yeah, it's not all doom and gloom, but we'll see. It's just good to see that we didn't have to rely on him.
Yep. Caleb said it perfectly. The fact that we played so well without Nick Dacos taking over the game, which he's been doing for the last 5-6 weeks. Nick is human. And Collingwood can still win despite Nick Dacos not really firing, despite not having Jordan De Goey, despite not having Scott Pendlebury, despite not having Joe Richards, Jamie Elliott, Tom Mitchell, Dan McStay. We just find a way to beat a side that really, outside of Jake Lever, they were at full strength today. And we killed them.
Yeah, so Alex Neil-Bullen in the first quarter spent 23 of the 25 minutes that Nick Dacos was on the field. He was on him for 23 of those minutes. So he was tagging him everywhere, right? So, it's going to be hard. What we're going to do is just going to have to see how he overcomes the tag. But they'll work on that during the week. I'm not stressing. Nick Dacos is such an elite player. He'll be able to work his way in. And plus, we'll have the likes of Scott Pendlebury come in, Mitchell as well, where these guys are veterans. They're going to be able to put blocks on and help Nick Dacos get open and get free.
Did we lose on expected score? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I'd be surprised if we did because we won the game. And expected score is an okay metric to look at, but that's all it is at the end of the day. It's expected score. Like, that's not the score at the end of the day. And that's, like I said, it's all that matters. And I've really got nothing more to say about that. Aldin says, but the more disposals you have, the more chance you have to turn over the ball. If you have 5 disposals, you turn over once, that's 20%. 20 touches and turn over twice, that's 10. Yeah, I guess it just depends where if you are a high accumulator of the ball, like a John Noble, it's more so we're worried about where you turn over the ball and how, does that come back straight away and do we concede a score from that? That's probably sometimes where our criticism has been for someone like John Noble.
Yeah.
So everyone here is losers, especially Champ.
Was it Sidey's best game this year? I'm not going to say it was his best game of the year, but it wasn't too bad of a game for him. He did all right, Champs. I think the specky was unreal. Unfortunately, shanked the kick afterwards. He did look slow in some parts of the game, but it didn't really matter. Felt like he found his way. Got the 22 disposals in the end. So that was good. Accumulated the ball. But I think, I don't think it was the best game this year, but I think it's definitely a good step in the right direction. I think a lot of his touches were also when we were trying to expand the ground and make the ground nice and wide. So he was getting a lot of kicks on the outside. He also, I had of note, he was very good at intercepting the ball from our kickouts as well, like the opposition kickouts, and he was able to get the ball a few times there. So good structure for the team and getting those rebound inside 50s as well. So
yeah, and I think still Sidebottom's best game was probably against West Coast when he played off the half-back flank. He had 5 intercept possessions today, which was one of the highest in the team. And another interesting note was Sidebottom ran 14.5 kilometers, the 4th most on the ground. Obviously, the wing position, you are going to be asked to run a lot more than other players. Lipinski was the leader at 15.1. But I think towards the end of the third quarter, when the game was up for grabs for those first 3 quarters, he was number 1 for distance covered offensively and defensively. And that's why we love Steel Sidebottom, because he offers a lot in the front half, but he does so much more in the defensive half as well.
exactly right.
Would you rest Dacos for next week? I probably would. To be fair. Would you, Champs? If he's like 70-30, yes, no. What do you think?
If he's injured, then rest him, or if he's from soreness, but we want him seeing, having a Brownlow around his neck, right? At the end of the year. So if he's fine, I reckon play him.
I think Kruger might be better than Mason Cox. Different players. Kruger offers a lot more on the ground level. He's got a lot more speed, can take a strong leading mark as well. They're different players. They can probably fit in the same team still. I'm optimistic about that. Plus, Kruger he hasn't had a large sample size, whereas Mason Cox has. So I don't think we're comparing apples with apples there just yet. Jimbo says Moore needs a haircut. Fair call. Hey, Phil, I've just joined and you may already have addressed this, but I think you owe a public apology to Steel Sidebottom. Phil. Who's Phil? Which one's Phil? Do we have a Phil in the chat, brother?
Let me scroll up.
In the meanwhile, Russell says the luxury of our outs is the depth to still win the games. Spot on. 2023, we lost 3 of the 5 games with no Nicky. Comes back, we win the flag. Yeah. And I think what says more about those last 5 games last year was we sort of already had top 2 in our bags. So psychologically, you're going to take a step off the accelerator. So that's probably something to consider as well. Yes, Nick Dacos was out, but I think the more important factor was the situation we were in. We were in a pretty comfortable position, and when you're comfortable, we know what happens. Let's see. Nick needs to go and tag the opposition best player. If he gets tagged, the opposition will need to make a decision to keep it or not. Taggers get way too much credit for just holding a player. I don't know. I think, like, in the case today, where like we said earlier, if we win and everybody else plays well, it's probably a good thing more than anything if that is to happen moving forward.
Yeah, and like Rick, to your point regarding tag is getting too much credit. At the end of the day, your coach asks you to do a role, and then that's what you've been given to do, right? So you're gonna have to fulfill whatever your coach wants to do. And if your coach is like, "Hey, Anthony, today you're going to be tagging Nick Dacos," then that's what you're going to do. That's your assignment. And if you shut him down, then that's a green tick, and that's what his performance is going to be based on, and that's what he's been asked to do for his club. So that's probably why they get a lot of credit, just because they've done the assignment. And he did do his assignment today, Alex Nibulin, to shut him down. He only got the 15 disposals. So, yeah, that's why he gets the tick.
Yeah, spot on. North on a win streak. We need to be careful, play our best side of it. It's ironic, champs, that every team we come up against, they're going to have to play. They're playing their grand final against us, or they're coming in on form. North Melbourne win their first and only game for the year, and now they've got their tail up, and now they get to play us at Marvel Stadium. Who remembers, guys, in the chat? Do you guys remember that game in 2022? I think it was at Marvel Stadium. We were down by like 4 goals at 3/4 time against North Melbourne, and somehow we managed to get a really crucial win. But that's my most recent recollection of a game against the North at Marvel.
All right, champ. If we lose next week, I will eat. I don't know. I'll eat the hottest chili that we can find in the comment, and we'll film it.
How about
comment in the chat? But you've got it here on record. If we lose, hottest chili we can find, I'm eating it, champ. I'll eat 2. All right.
How about you have to
you find a ghost pepper, you find whatever, champs. That can be your assignment to find me the hottest chili in Melbourne, and I'll eat it if we lose.
All right, done. Done deal then.
Done. And we'll do it on camera. All right.
Guys, you heard it here first. It's verbatim out of his own mouth that he will put a chili into his mouth, any chili at that. So if Collingwood lose, hopefully we don't have to see that though. But Chris says North got their first win. They'd be up and about. So resting Nick Dacos could be a mistake. I know it's North, but you never know. It's at Marvel as well, I believe. Spot on. And yeah, like I said, if Nick Dacos is genuinely healthy and ready to go, play him. But if he's like on the other side where he's less than 50-50 or 60-40, maybe just rest him and rely on the rest of our cattle. Ultimate Greatness, how you going, mate? I've seen a lot of your videos on the training content for the Collingwood Football Club. I love that. Thoughts on Frampton? What's his go? Personally, I like him as a defender. He doesn't look to be a natural forward. Once our main forward comes back, I'd like to him switch. Dean was solid today too. I think you're spot on there. I think if Dean isn't able to hold down his spot, Billy Frampton goes straight back into the back line with Jeremy Howe and Darcy Moore. I don't really see a position for Billy Frampton in the forward line later on in the season when you have McStay, Kruger, Cox, Myercheck back. It's just, I don't know. He did okay today, but he doesn't do enough to keep a position later in the year in the forward line. So the back line has to be where he resides if he's to remain in the team later on.
You reckon he did okay today, champs?
Like, that's what I'm saying. Okay, he played okay because we won. Yeah. We won. He kicked the goal. He did okay. Sometimes he could probably clunk more marks, but he doesn't have the softest hands going around. So that's why I think his best position would be back line if he is to contend for another premiership with the Collingwood Football Club.
Yeah.
Guys, we're sitting at 26 likes for the stream. Can we get that up to 50? We've got 64 people in the stream. Would be huge. 50 likes for the win.
You want to reshare the link as well, champs, if anyone wants to join and have a quick discussion with us, feel free.
Digsby says, can Murph come out of retirement? Nah, let him go play cricket. Let him go back. Go play cricket. He was good at cricket. It's a non-contact sport. Let him go play cricket or something. Or come back to the Collingwood Football Club in a coaching capacity.
Is he playing cricket, is he?
Well, not necessarily. The question was asked, but that was right after he had announced his retirement. But it was something in between playing cricket or returning in a coaching capacity for the club.
Hey, those balls are darting around, man. That's fucking... You don't want to get bounced. That's all I got to say.
Well, I'm not sure if he's a bowler or a batsman predominantly, so that would be interesting. But Davey Boy, John Noble needs his credit. His game set was absolutely amazing. Outside of his first quarter, I thought it was really good. I thought it was a bit sloppy early on, a bit fumbly, couple of silly turnovers, I guess. But outside of that, he was good. He came into the game, and that's why we love John Noble. His run off half back and his link up play is exactly why he's in the team right now.
Exactly right.
Everyone, Lily says go North.
Yeah.
Hello. What else? 22 was at the MCG against North. Really? I thought it was Marvel. Champs, can you fact check that for me? When did we play North of the G? What happened to the Subway guy who used to be on those commercials? Is that the guy with the headset in the wheelchair who's singing in the railway? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, it was at the MCG. I will ask Carey for relationship advice. Now I really want us to lose. Damn it! You're a sadistic man, evil monk. That's crazy talk here. That's crazy talk.
You need to find a ghost pepper for me, champ. That's apparently that's the hottest one.
Jimbo says, "Don't give us a reason to support North, brother."
Hey, I'll eat it. I'll eat it, boys. I'm a man of my word.
It's a danger game, Luke. It's a danger game. Even against West Coast in 2022 at Marvel, we just shut the bed. And West Coast had one of the best scoring shot differential. So I think there's like a record on AFL tables where West Coast are top 10 all time for the game against Collingwood, where they had like the biggest differential in scoring shots and winning the game still. That's how I guess efficient West Coast were on that day at Marvel Stadium. Frampton goes back when Cox returns. Yeah, probably so. We can beat Sydney and Carlton. We probably need to go up an extra gear for Sydney. But again, we are short-handed injuries-wise, so we need our best team to compete with Sydney. How good was Bobby's Don't Argue and Cozzy? Mate, Rangatang, how you going? I genuinely thought when he ran into Cozzy, I thought he was done. But he dropped him. Unreal. 2022 qualifying final was like a movie. Rode a wave of emotion. Personally think a Sydney final would be similar. 2022 qualifying final. Remind me. 2022 qualifying final. So the prelim was against Sydney. We know that. I think it was Geelong. Was it Geelong that we played in that qualifying final? Or GWS? I don't think it was GWS. They were horrible in 2022, actually. It wasn't Melbourne. Melbourne was last year, brother.
Freo?
No, we played
Freo. No, we lost against Geelong.
Yeah, that's right. And then we played Freo in the semi-final the next week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Greatness has got some words about Illaroo. Thoughts on Smith? He's my favourite player now, and I can see him even debuting this year. Oscar Steen and Smith is a good ruck combo for the future. Being told Smith is a very good key forward too. I hope that's true. Champs. Caleb watched Illaroo play in the VFL yesterday, so if you want to share some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I've already said it, but I'll say it again. He was really good, very explosive, very quick around the ground. The biggest tick for me was his willingness to go from the one effort to the next effort and his follow-up again, so his first, second, third efforts. Those are the real big ticks you're looking for with these type of guys. Is like a hard work ethic. I do believe, champs, he did take a good mark as well coming out of the forward line. Let me just pull up my notes as well to see if I had anything else on him. But he showed good signs, and champs, I thought he was going to be a little bit more unpolished than what he ended up being. But it wasn't too bad. A lot of upside there. So yeah, he presented well out of the forward line, got a good mark, and it led to a goal assist. So good signs from Smith.
Yeah, good signs. Maybe not this year, but hopefully in the years to come. Would love to see our first round pick Dimits here getting a game this week. Best on in the VFL off the halfback flank was where he played out of, champs.
What was he, sorry? Yeah, halfback. Yeah.
Really good. 23 disposals, and he kicked a goal as well. So
yeah,
he will definitely play at some point this year, you'd have to think. Yeah. West Coast's shots in that 2022 game was in the 99th percentile of accuracy all time. Exactly. I think that's the stat I was looking at on AFL tables. North were up a lot in that fourth quarter against West Coast. Yeah, but it was good for them to actually fight back and wrestle that momentum in front of a hostile Perth crowd. Yeah, Chris confirms that it was against Geelong, where it was Gary Rowan and Jeremy Cameron took over in that last quarter, unfortunately. Jeremy Cameron sort of somewhat owns the Collingwood Football Club. Even that 2019 prelim, he killed us. I remember he kicked that goal on the boundary late in the fourth. I think that sent Chris home. I think he left the G. And Chris, you can confirm if this is true. He left the G, was walking back, and then he kept hearing Collingwood crowd cheering. And obviously there was a potential lingering Collingwood comeback in the work. So I think he ended up sprinting back with a bunch of other Collingwood supporters to see the game out, to only watch us lose by the nearest margins. Yeah.
That just reminds me, champ, of, wasn't that Richmond Collingwood game? Was it Richmond we were playing when you, me, your brother, and your dad, we all left at half time?
Yeah, we were down by 4 goals. And yeah, we went to go have a kick at Warrawee Oval in Oakley, and we ended up winning the game. And that was our first experience of AFL footy, and we didn't even get to stay the whole game.
What was it? Only 4 goals. I felt like when we were watching that as a kid, we were getting pumped. It was a lot more.
At half time. I remember vividly, brother. Still a nightmare.
Jeez.
Great game, though. I was there on the boundary. It was a great game to watch the D's fans walk out at the start of the fourth. Unbelievable. So you were at the game today, Rangatank, on that boundary. Are you talking about the Darcy Cameron goal? I think it will be tough for Sydney, but they will have a down period. Yeah, look, the thing is with Sydney right now is they're playing super well, but we've seen in years gone by, your best form at this time of the year or to hit your strides this early in the season and to be to be unfazed as they've been for the most part of the year, barring that Richmond game. Sometimes it works against you. Can you uphold that standard? How do you convince yourself to not stay bored and to stay hungry and stay on top of it? That will be something Sydney are definitely talking about internally to ensure they don't drop the ball towards the latter end of the season. Yeah, Marty, that's something I think I mentioned that a few weeks ago, that we have a losing record against West Coast. The only team in AFL history, VFL AFL history, where we have a losing record against. So that's an interesting one, Chance. Did you know that?
That's an elite stat, isn't it? Elite meaning that we're beating all the other teams. So, yeah. I knew I never liked the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah. Hawthorn are close as well, I think, from memory. Hawthorn, we don't have the best win-loss record against Hawthorn, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Reef is in the middle for the fourth quarter, and the VFL is very good. Caleb did note that, and I think that's just because, one, Reef came into the AFL drafted as a midfielder, and then with Ned Long injuring his calf, with Tom Mitchell out, Jordan De Goey out, the likes, I think there's an opportunity for Reef where maybe he could play midfield at some point this year if needed.
Yeah, there was a really good play where Smith and Reef linked up. Reef just pushed his man out, was able to get the ball to around a 1 o'clock hit, so probably front right. And ran onto the ball, got an inside 50 for the boys. But yeah, I would have averaged Reef probably attending about 40% of the centre bounce attendances. So he was in there all day when he wasn't in the forward line. So he was actually in there quite a bit.
Yeah. What time are you guys on here till tonight? No sign of Denman. I know we're enjoying ourselves at the moment. We'll keep it.
Pub, Danny. He's gone to the pub.
Maybe he's at the pub, mate. That's where you'll find him. But I think maybe another half an hour. We'll see. I'm not too sure. But Chris says, just referring back to the GWS preliminary final 2019, he's like, me and 100 people started sprinting back to the G. He yelled, "We're coming back," to everybody, and then everyone started sprinting back to the G.
You know, the thing is, I do not doubt that for a second. If anyone knows your brother, he is a very vocal supporter, isn't he, champs? So him yelling, "We're coming back," there's no doubt in my mind that he's yelled out at the top of his lungs in his deepest fuck voice. Some kids might have been crying, champ. I don't know, but
yeah. Champs, have a crack at that one.
Oh, you're making me move my comments. Luke says, how's the Melbourne supporters booing Braz backfiring with our crowd cheering him and drowning them out? From top to bottom, they're the biggest flog club by far. Was great to see. Like I said, I actually mentioned in the pregame that he's probably going to get booed every time he touched the ball. I think it was about the first 2-3 times Maynard touched the ball, he got booed. And then it was good to see. This is why we got the best fans in the whole game. As you know, completely backfired. Every time we got it, we flipped it on the Melbourne supporters' head, and we're cheering him on. And it also booing Maynard in that type of situation, just the player he is, probably does some benefit for us because Brazzy then goes to that next level, champ. Don't you reckon? He was playing like he was out there to prove a point, and it was probably one of his best games for the year. A lot of good hits, good bumps, attacking plays, daring, like big ticks everywhere. He was my 3 votes for the coaches' votes today. I know you have. Did you say you had Howe?
Yeah,
as yours. But yeah, he would be my big tick, and it was just elite to see the Collingwood fans just go absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, we were always going to say that, weren't we?
Yeah, exactly right.
The Bobby don't argue boundary. Wow, you're right there, huh? Fuck, that would have been unreal. I'm jealous. How good was Darcy Cameron's goal? Unreal from the boundary. Didn't look like missing off the boot.
Yeah, great kick for a ruck, man. And I'm just going to keep talking about it, but the him throwing the plastic chair was goated. It was just
he knew what he wanted, brother.
Huh?
He knew what he wanted.
Yeah, he knew what he wanted. He said, "Fuck this off. I'm ready. Big time plays." You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, Jimbo, I'm going to send a link in a chat. I did a video on Thomas McGuan 2 weeks ago. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what we think about him here, click on that link. He's going to be a gun, and he's a bottom major at the moment. So we'll get him in the end of next year in the 2025 draft. And then there's one here. Just quickly, I'm just going to jump over a few here. Yeah, so Brisbane have a record over us, but when you factor in the Fitzroy record, I'm pretty sure we have a positive record. So you've got to consider that because Fitzroy, Brisbane, same, right?
Yeah.
I hope I'm not hurting anyone's feelings when I say that. Swans would be treading water like what we did. Wins aren't the priority. Health is. No point going hard if there's nothing to gain from it. Swans are going to be on a strong side. Yeah, they'll probably deal with the same narrative we did last year. If they secure a top spot early, what are they playing for besides trying to hold form? And if they lose a few games towards the back end of the year, they'll face the flurry of the media attention that we received. I think we lost 3 of our last 5 games last year, and no team before that had won the grand final with a record like that going into the final series. So that's a watch this space for the Sydney Swans.
Yeah.
We are not. Yeah, we got a winning record over GWS. Where are we at for likes? What's the stream saying? We wanted to get to 50. We want to break records today. Just like Jack Chris. We're at 43 likes for the stream, guys. Can we get another 7 more to 50? And then maybe Caleb, if we can get to 50, maybe we can get Caleb a chili to eat live on stream tonight. That will help with his fluids, brother. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure chili helps with sickness.
Get fucked.
Come on, man. Or we'll get Michelle to shave off your hair, brother. How about that? Live on stream.
Mate, this luscious thing, that's gonna be, I don't know, grand final win or something. You know what I mean?
In history.
I'll get the R9, Braz. I'll get the R9.
There you go. Oh, it includes the Bears. The R9, that would be crazy. Jack Crisp is a cyborg, never had a soft tissue injury. He's a weapon. He is a weapon, and it seems like he's impervious to any soft tissues or contact injuries. Braz was loving the attention. Yeah, I definitely agree. Braz, aka Angry Pendles. That's a good reference. Braz, aka Angry Pendles. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Decent shout.
Digsby, what is your... Is that a Pikachu? Like, not a Pikachu, is that a Pokemon? Like, is that like... what is that?
Is it Snorlax? I think it's Snorlax.
Yeah, is it Snorlax? I can't remember if is that a Pikachu. That's fucking disgraceful for me.
That's okay.
But is it Snorlax? Yeah. I don't know.
Bernard says, I've been trying to move more out of the back line for 2 years. I don't think we can move him out of the back line. He's still our best defender. We've tried it before. It didn't work. I think we're just keep him in the back line for now. Chris says, Chris has been absolutely massive for us. He has been. He was unreal today. He was unreal last week. Mr. Consistent. Had to step up today, and he did so very well. I just liked it now. I forgot to like it. Thanks for the heads up. Thanks, Abdullah. We love that. That's commitment, brother. That's commitment to the cause.
It is.
Champs, Demon has something to say for you.
Nah.
Oh, he's telling me. Oh, no, he's telling me. He's like, how about you eat the chili for 50 likes?
Oh, yeah.
Don't make Caleb do everything. Hey, Caleb put his hand up, not me. He put his hand up.
What about 50 tonight for you? Huh?
Well, we've hit 52 likes, which is fucking unreal. Because when we go back and look at some of our streams in the past, not that anyone would care too much, but it is a nice achievement. I think when Collingwood wins, it's a bit easy to hit that like button. But I think our peak likes for a stream is 43. We're currently at 52. So that's big ups to the chat and the viewers. We appreciate that. See, Luke says it's good for the sinuses, brother. Good for the sinuses and the chilies. We'll open you up. It might open up your asshole tonight as well, brother, for the lube.
Jeez.
That'll get you going.
Let's go, champ.
Ultimate greatness. McGuan is going to be a gun. Looks to be a top 10 pick currently. That can always change to a draft combine. Only rough guesses can be predicted. It is quite early. And yeah, top 10 is definitely very possible considering what he's doing at the Western Jets. Have you been Ultimate Greatness? I know you go and watch the VFL train as well. You got any mail there? Has he trained down there yet, or is it a bit too early? What do you think about Luke Quaynor? I'm asking you these questions because I know you just love Collingwood inside out, and I know that you put the time in to go watch the boys train. So I'd like to get your thoughts a little bit more on someone like Luke Quaynor, who's played the last 2 games at VFL level. Yes, he hasn't played amazing in the VFL games, but what are you seeing at training level as well? Go to your dad's hairdresser. That's funny. He's talking about my dad's long hair back in the day. It's a Snorlax with a cry cat came in. Oh, thanks, greatness. I appreciate that, mate. Appreciate that. What's your name? I've watched a lot of your videos, particularly this year. I'd like to know your name if I can refer to you by a name. But if you want to be referred to as Ultimate Greatness, the GOAT, I'm with that too. Chance?
Caleb has to do with the chili. My thing is Ghost Pepper, North Wind next week. All right, that's what I've staked on the line. That's it, champs. That's because imagine if I eat a chili now, then the kind of the effect of next week if we lose.
Champ, do you have Tabasco sauce in the fridge? Do you have some Tabasco? Do you have any sort of chili in the fridge, brother? Come on, man. Have a look, man. Go. Come on, man. Give us something, brother. Come on, man. Live a little. Come on, man.
You're talking a big game, man.
Brother, go. Brother, go. What is this? The chat are dying to see something. They want to feel something, brother.
You're waffling. They don't want to see that shit.
Lily says 52 likes. Go, boys. Both of you then. I forgot to change the profile.
Oh, yeah, champs. I'll do one if you do one.
I don't think, brother, come on. In my household, do you think I'm going to have anything chili-based?
Come on.
I know I'm Mauritian, but I don't have anything chili, brother. Surely you got Tabasco sauce in the fridge, brother. Come on.
Champ, I got chili, but what's the point? You know what I mean?
Does anybody here have Tabasco sauce on a frequent basis?
Isn't hot, man. It's not hot.
Well, like, who's a lover for chili on their food? Like, what are we saying? Peter Nutt. Good game by Krugs. Slotting 3 goals. Yeah, Matty. Slotting 3 goals looked unbelievable. Really impressed me, and I was surprised by his speed and power around the ground, and he just finds ways to stay busy in the game, which is massive.
Yeah, his quickness, that actually was a real big surprise. Like, he looked unreal today, really quick, presented well. So big ticks from him. 3 majors. Can't really complain, can you?
Yeah.
The only thing actually about Kruger is I would have locked him. He backed himself, but he did try to give that handball to Bobby Hill, which he ended up going back and slotting because the umpire caught it back. And he did dish a handball off to someone else, and then it resulted in a turnover. I'd like to see him just come back and just back himself in. I think that won't be an issue next week. Got 3 goals this week. Confidence is going to be up and about, but just early on, that's what was probably the only thing I saw. Champs getting some flack there by Peter. What are your response?
That's fair enough. If you like my All-Australian team, it's a tough team to pick. I had a crack and it was very difficult. I'll quickly read out my team. My mid-season All-Australian team. I've got Luke Ryan, Max Holmes, Jordan Clark, Harris Andrews, Mac Andrew, Nick Martin in the back 6. The followers, Nick Dacos, Bontempelli, Isaac Heaney. The ruckman, Max Gorn, is obvious. The wingers, I went Josh Dacos and Errol Goulden. Forward line, I went Jake Waterman, Charlie Curnow, Isaac Rankin, Dylan Moore, Ben King, Toby Green. And my bench was Sam Collins, Chad Warner, Caleb Sarong, Zach Merritt, and Patrick Cripps. And then my emergencies were Jesse Hogan, Christian Petrarca, Rowan Marshall. So it's difficult. I know, and there were players I left out that would probably be a shoe-in in everybody else's team, but I wanted to pick true players true to their position. So instead of picking midfielders as wingers and midfielders as forwards, I picked forwards and small forwards, and I picked wingers who are actually wingers in the game. But yeah, look, you can't please everyone, can you, brother?
Yeah, exactly right.
As a Collingwood content creator, I'm so GK we didn't take the foot off the pedal. I'm assuming you're saying you're wrapped. We'll take it that you're wrapped. Yeah, I'd be wrapped. I'm wrapped too, mate. And Caleb would be wrapped. Now, Luke Quaynor doesn't train with the VFL, guys. Seen him run laps at seniors training from time to time. My guess is that he's a sidey type, averaging in the high 20s for disposal currently. I think.
Was that Luke Quaynor, or was that in regards to what do you call it? The prospect? What's his name? Who we were just talking about earlier? Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. He could be, because Luke Quaynor wouldn't be averaging high disposals. Oh, no, I did ask about Thomas McGuan as well. Yeah, he's averaging high 20s for the Western Jets. And ultimate greatness, do you think – I think we'd give up a third-round pick for someone like Luke Quaynor at this point. I don't know. I don't think he's worth any more than that.
He's not setting the – I know he's a different type of player, but he's not really setting the VFL alight. Like, Luke Quaynor yesterday, he did what was kind of asked from him. Like, if the ball was near him, he was able to spoil and like dish out a handball or something like that. But like nothing really. I looked at him and like there was like no X factor. He's quite young. How old is Luke Quaynor?
He's 18 this year, so he'll be in the draft.
He's like 17, right? 17, 18.
Yeah, so he'll go into the draft this year.
Yeah, he could develop some more explosiveness and stuff like that. But like just taking it at face value yesterday, there was nothing that I saw was setting him apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Massimo says, "Go Pies, great game. The young players are stepping up." Exactly. Our bottom 6 were unreal today. Harvey Harrison was good. Kruger came in, kicked goals, unbelievable. Thanks for joining in the stream, Massimo. Chris thinks Toby Green definitely not all Australian this year, playing like Frank, averaging a goal and a half. He's just not kicking accurately. I think he's got 40% goal scoring accuracy in front of goal right now. Leads the forwards in goal assists. So that was my case. GWS not playing so well either. So you could argue that he doesn't make it. You could see a difference when Hosky played today. We missed him, and he was very solid. It was McGon. Rookie draft. Yeah, so I guess with that ultimate greatness regarding Luke Quaynor, if someone does go for him from another club, we could almost like waive him through the whole national draft. And if someone does go for him late in the 3rd round, we could just match it anyways. If not, we can let it pass and let him go to the rookie draft and pick him up there. He'll fall below pick 40, so we'll be able to bid for him regardless. So what's the rule behind that again? So if you are within the top 40, you can bid for them, but if they're outside of the 40, you can't bid for them. Is that right? D's getting exit meetings after that. I think this is one of my men champs. Yeah, did you give me Sully?
No, I've got Sully.
Go on.
Yeah, Sullivan's gone a bit under the radar recently. Been really solid and fit in seamlessly into the team. Yeah, I thought today he was decent. He gets a lot of small handballs around the stoppages and around the set of clearances. So the ball might come down. someone might feed him out the ball. He receives it, then gives another quick handball to another midfielder, which then they go and open up the game. So he's doing his job in that sense. I would like to see some more, I guess, line breaking and taking the game on from him. But then you've got the likes of like a Nick Dacos or a Pendlebury that come in, that those are kind of more their role. So at the moment, I think that's the pass mark. I think let me just pull it up, champs. How many disposals did he get for the game? I think most of them were handballs, to my point, just to back up my point. So he got the 13 disposals, but he got the 9 handballs, 4 kicks. So that just kind of reinforces what I'm saying, where he gets a lot of handballs out of the stoppage, and then he feeds that ball onto someone else who then kicks the ball forward. One thing I really liked by Sullivan was he did a really good smother. So that was good to see. Good little signs there, champs.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So he's doing well. He's fitting seamlessly. And what Caleb mentioned there was he's getting those little handballs around the contest, which is probably what Tom Mitchell does pretty well. Really, really gets the ball out and shovels it out to the good ball users. And that's all you can ask for Lockie Sullivan.
Yeah.
And guys, question for you in the chat, because we haven't mentioned him at all thus far today. There's been that many excellent performers from today. I want to get your thoughts, chat, about Patrick Lipinski. I'll leave it to you guys in the chat. You start the conversation. Patrick Lipinski, what did we think? And then we'll go from there. But in the meanwhile, Ultimate Greatness is if you're inside 40 as a national next generation academy, you can't bid. But if he falls below the bidding points come into effect. TJ was linked to the Hawks, but we got him at pick 37 from memory, so Hawks couldn't accept the bid. Okay, so I was thinking more to do with father-son rather than next generation academy. So that's handy to know. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Do you understand that, champs? You get that? Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
So TJ could have gone to Hawks, being in the NGA for the Hawks, but because he fell within the top 40, we were able to snag him from his brother. Fuck, CJ would have been spewing to play. Could have played with his bro. Archie Lipper, underrated as hell. Chris Cassette, Lipper was good, no complaints, not a bad game, got a goal, pretty decent. Lipinski, always sexy, lol, loved his Zach Bailey role today. Lipinski, decent. Champs, 24 disposals, 10 contested possessions, 4 inside 50s, 1 goal, 1 intercept mark, 2 goal assists, 7 tackles off the wing.
Good.
More than under the radar?
People saying he's decent, and like I think that performance warrants falling a decent performance. I think he was really good today. So yeah, probably maybe flow under the radar of some guys, but he was outstanding today. So can't fault him at all.
Pat Lipinski is now a favoured son at Collingwood, and today did very well. He's a super player. Spot on, Tony Costanzo, and career year for Lipinski. Tony Costanzo. That sounds like what's that old Italian, like New York Guido type of show that everyone loved? Sopranos. It's such a Sopranos name, unless it is someone from the Sopranos. I could be franking myself here there. Russell, realistic wins for remaining games pre-finals. So, champs, we're thinking, right, if it's not Mason Cox and we don't get him on the potty, then we're going to do like a ladder predictor along with a couple other things. But off the top of my head,
I've got the picture here, champs. For the remaining games, I'll read them out and we'll backtrack. All right. So we've got North Melbourne, we've got Geelong. We've got Gold Coast in Gold Coast. We then have Essendon, Geelong, Hawks, Richmond, Carlton, Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne. So straight away, because I'm looking at the champs, winnable games are North Melbourne, Hawthorn, Richmond. I reckon they're we should get those wins. Richmond do have a lot of ins recently, so got a good win on the weekend. So showing some signs of life there. Gold Coast in Gold Coast is going to be a tough one. They haven't lost there all year, so that will be a task and a half there. Right after our bye break, so hopefully we have time to prepare and see what they do well to make it a fortress at Gold Coast, at Spotless Stadium. I don't know what it's called these days, but at Gold Coast. So that would be a good one to watch. Hopefully we get the win there. But the big challenges are going to be Sydney, and then when we face Carlton again, right? Those are our danger games, and you'd say Brisbane as well to some extent.
Yeah. He was good. What was the umpire last minute in the game against him? I can't remember. I actually sort of switched off halfway through the fourth, if I'm being honest, like mentally switched off.
Yeah.
Yeah, father sons, you can bid anywhere within the 40 as well, and you can get a 10% discount, I believe. NGAs, there are no discounts. There you go. Interesting. More than warrants the extension. Lipinski, arguably a top 5 player for us now. Fair call. Champs, maybe we can do, actually, that's a good idea for the Pies Eyes podcast. Maybe we can talk about, because we'll be going into the bye, maybe we can have a little open discussion about maybe ranking the top 5, and I have my top 5, you have your top 5, and then we come into the podcast and we can go from there. Might be a good little discussion to have. That's something we can consider. George Costanza from Seinfeld. Silly me. Lipinski has been good all year long, really kicked off his season versus Port. I think Port, he kicked 4 goals, which was a career high in that game. So that he was good before that, but really made an announcement to the league in that game. Best forward kick going into the 50. Absolutely. Seinfeld.
I'm giving us a 10-minute warning.
Yep, 10-minute warning, and then we're off at the 2-hour mark.
Or I'm going to be very single soon.
Yeah, no, you're right. Meet the manager. Meet the boss. Here's the manager. Analyze this. Lip has been unreal. He's the cog in a wheel that doesn't get noticed like Harrison. Shane Edwards was a perfect example, always a part of those small yet crucial, critical plays. Yeah, he's a link-up player, great kick going inside 50, knows where the goals are as well. We do have a great record against Gold Coast at the Suns, which, to be fair, I'm sure a lot of teams do at the moment. Lipper, I think everyone was pretty wrapped with Lipper's preseason, and it goes to show that that was no lie, and that was real form going into the season. Once you see it, tell me what you think. What does the number tell you? Boys, what round do we play Brisbane in? Once you see it, tell me what you two think. What does the number tell you? So there's a little bit of an innuendo in that one, champs.
So what? We're playing round 23.
Oh.
Is that Bobby Hill v what you call it matchup?
It's his jersey. Yeah.
Bobby Hill and what the fuck is his name? Why am I blanking so hard? That should
Charlie
be
Cameron.
Charlie Cameron, yeah.
Is that what you're referring to, Rob? The fact that it's round 23 and that's Charlie Cameron's Norm Smith performance in his jersey? Is that the one?
I think that's what.
No. 4:35 p.m. Does that have anything to do? Any significance there? Saturday, August 17th. Was that the same day we lost against Brisbane last year? I wouldn't think so. 2023 premiers. Yeah. We won the flag against Brisbane. We know that. Cameron? Yeah. People First Stadium. Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Because was it Spotless
okay, there you go. Round 23 at the MCG 2023 premiers. There's the word play or number play on that one. Sorry, mate. We're a bit slow. We're tired. Caleb's been sick all week. We're vulnerable right now.
Yeah. That's my bad. Spotless Stadium was GWS's ground. Metricon was Gold Coast.
Yeah.
My bad, Chan.
My bad, Chan.
Hey, my bad.
Rob,
hey, do we have we've got a buy in footy, right? Coming up?
Yeah, after North Melbourne, brother.
Oh, fuck. Even us? Like, you and me, I'm talking about.
Oh, no. I think we've got like 2 or 3 more games, and then we have a 2-week. We're off for 2 weeks.
Champ. Gold Coast. I don't know. Do we go up?
That could be a play.
Improv trip.
You know me, brother. I don't like those plane trips, though. Might have to take the bus.
We'll drive. I'll drive us.
Anybody else struggle with planes in here? I think all those
we're gonna get a little bit off topic, but Chep, what is it to be scared of, like, on the plane? Like, I don't understand.
Too many air crash investigations, man.
Yeah, look, and
the news know how to fearmonger, brother, as well. Like, same with like shark attacks, they just blow it out of proportion, like it's something that happens every day.
The way I see champ is I got to get destination A to B. I got to take a plane. As soon as I sit on that plane, there's no point stressing about it because in my head, if the plane's going down, what the F am I going to do? I know F4. I know every one of the passengers don't know shit about fucking flying a plane, right? So what's the point of me stressing over it, right? Well, like, if we go down, hey, it's been GG's. GG, well played. You know what I mean, champs?
It'd be nice knowing you. For me, it's the feeling of being out of control.
You gotta, yeah.
I'd rather drive the plane, brother. I've said that before. It's
I know
crazy.
you said that.
I've said it before. I'm like, I'd almost rather be the pilot in the plane with no experience than being driven by a pilot.
Mate, that's when I start screaming. When I see you barge it in, I'm like, oh, we're fucked.
Hey, Digsby, who was that? Who was sick in that Dockers game? Who was sick? Was it Jordan DeGoey rolling in with the sickness or Pendlebury? Do you remember, Chance, by any chance? There was someone who was, running with an illness all week. Ben said, can't be scared of planes. Come on, Champs.
I love it. I'm loving it. I'm noticing more people using champs in the comments as well. Where it's going to be a thing, man. It's going to be.
I'm losing their respect. Chippies aren't scared, champs. Chippies aren't scared. Well, Russell, you're just giving away your occupation, huh?
Yeah.
Russell's a chippy. Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. Yeah, I think the news really do a good job to fearmonger the general population, make it look like airplane crashes happen all the time, make it look like the shark attacks happen all the time. So it's just one of those things they do very well. Yeah, it's been a good show, champs, and especially Caleb being a bit underdone. Get well soon, Caleb. I think today helps us with getting us a good win. Are you feeling better with the win, champs? Does that make you feel a little bit better?
I'm feeling better. It's going to be interesting tomorrow with work, and footy training. I don't even know if I'm going to train tomorrow, champs. So we're going to see. We are going to see. Yeah, it's a tomorrow issue though. But the win definitely G's me up.
There you go. Told you about his hip surgery in the 2019 hip surgery regarding Crispy. The streak lives on. Marty hasn't climbed a tree in his life. He's shit scared of heights. Me too, lads. Hold on. Woody's back in the chat. Your lad's still going. Could have done a lap to the Wolf and back. I think Caleb's had enough. We're probably about a few minutes away from wrapping this up. But we just wanted to
2-hour mark, champs, and then Galanita.
Yeah, it's like the Stravas when you're so close to 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers, you got to tick over. You can't finish at 9.98 kilometers.
I hate that. There's been times that I've gone for a run and I've looked down and I'm like 500 meters short. So then I just have to run straight past my house, go all the way up the street, all the way back just to clock it over 10 kilometers. And I don't know if this has happened to you before, but sometimes when you smack it and it says 10 and you stop it straight away and then it uploads and it goes 9.99. That's like disgraceful. It's happened to me before and it pissed me off.
Yeah, exactly. But Tony, George Costanza, let's face it, Pendlebury is still the real captain. He always will be. He's my captain. Champs, is your captain?
Champ. He's a people's champ.
Yeah.
Darcy who?
The 1-year extension for Pendles as well is likely to happen. If you guys haven't seen my video from Saturday morning, it's been real feel like watching Seinfeld now that I think of Julia Louis-Dreyfus as a smoke show. Don't get too excited, Digby. Don't get too excited on here. Agreed, Tony. Pendles has always been our leader. Spot on. Cruz. Why aren't you watching a replay? Because we're here lapping it up with you guys. Georgie, Yorgos. The people skip. There you go.
Yeah.
Your dad liked the hanger. He didn't mind one. Danny Cassette didn't mind a screamer or two.
Didn't mind it.
Elaine, of course, through Digsby's on one tonight. He's been, or he, I'm assuming, has been unreal. Nightmare at the G it was today, lads. Oh, yeah. Nightmare on the road. Nightmare.
Let's go,
guys. Just quickly before we end the stream, if you haven't liked the stream, please, if you've enjoyed our company, please ensure that you press like on the stream. It goes a long way. We're currently sitting at 61, which is unbelievable. So glad to see and in the stats that you guys are enjoying it. We've enjoyed your company. We're nearly at the 2-hour mark, so that's been a massive shift. It's been a big day, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, no, it's been good, champs. We'll probably wrap it up there, champs. So, Wednesday we're going to have the pie performers. At what time we starting, champs?
Oh, I think we're at 7. We're on for 7 p.m. on Wednesday. I'll do a review tomorrow. I'm going to get hopefully another documentary type video out some point this week as well. The title is, if you guys haven't heard, the title is Collingwood lost by 83 points and then won the flag 6 weeks later. Take a guess as to which season that was in reference to. But just quickly, Kev, love your work, Go Pies. We love your presence. Ultimate greatness, elite content, boys. Fantastic work. Thanks, mate. Thanks for jumping in the stream. Hopefully we see you next week for the North game and maybe during the week for the pie performers, moving the magnets, pre-game show, post-game show.
Now, champs, that's going to be a good point. Are we going to be able to do the pre and post-game show this weekend? Because I believe we're playing footy. Oh, no. Game's on Sunday. Sorry, champs. I thought it was on Saturday.
Watch the feet, man. Watch the feet.
Champ. My bad.
1990 to Hawthorn. There you go. Tony's all over it. All right, guys. We've hit the 2-hour mark. Good effort. Fucking a long shift with you guys. You guys have been amazing for the whole stream, and it makes it a little bit easier when Collingwood beat the D's in that fashion. And we'll see you guys in a couple of days.
All right.